Check out these.
K-pop demon.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Who it feels like Monday for me, but a Wednesday it is. Welcome back, guys. Good to see you again. Who? I hope you had a good weekend without me. Slendy, good to see you, buddy. Raffy, y'all, welcome in. How was your weekend? How was our days off? Did you go and make maps on Friday without me? Y'all, it's been too long. It's good to be back. And it's a Wednesday, so you know what we're doing. Right on into it. I think it's becoming the most popular format. We'll pick up Fantasy Map Friday on Friday again, though. But for now, for today, we're going to do your favorite opening lines. We're going to read them. We're going to talk about them. It's going to be good, y'all. Mike Ferry Curtis on YouTube, my friend. Thank you for the welcome back. It's a pleasure to be back, y'all. It felt wrong not being here. Glad to be here with everybody. If you did anything cool over the last weekend, over Comic-Con weekend, please do tell me about it. I love to hear it. Melissa Lee, welcome in. Raffy, you went to a CT Suns game. CT Suns. Was ist das? Basketball? Okay, I don't know the NBA teams at all. I'm so bad about that. Which one did you go to? I was going to say I hope they won, but I guess I got their last games here, and it looks like they won all except Monday the 28th. Oh, no, that might have been the one you went to. Maybe it was Sunday? I hope so, dude. Melissa, what's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Oh, nice. Based on my reading. I just noticed this on the books in the background. It's got my own book there. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. It's very nice to be back. We had a lovely trip. It was exhausting. We walked over 20 miles over the course of 3 days. Insane. But it was good. It was fun. Comic-Con was insane. It was too much of everything in all the best ways and all the worst ways. Pretty nuts, especially as someone who's not a big fan of crowds. But no, it was incredible. And y'all, I got this adorable little sticker for my comp book, so I'm very excited about it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's foil as well, so it kind of like shines. I think it goes perfect there. So honestly, the whole trip was worth it. But Melissa, how were you? How was your weekend? Info Corner on YouTube, hello as well. Y'all, welcome back. Haunted Writer, you said your favorite book is Mr. Be Gone by Clive Barker. All right, well, let's add that to the list. Y'all, we got 12 slots to fill up before we start rolling dice to see which books we're going to do. Emily, you said Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Let's get it. Mare Bear, good to see you. Welcome back. Thank you for coming. Happy Wednesday to you. How you been? How was your weekend? I'm glad to have you back. Melissa, you said House on Needless Street. I think you've said this one a couple times, right? We just haven't gotten it. Well, excellent. It's number 3 on the list. Let me go ahead and number them as I write them here. Y'all, we're taking 9 more titles. Mare Bear, we can, give me the full title for that one, and we can throw it in. I think we've done it before, but I think it's had its cooldown period, so we can do it again. Chance, you want Redwall. Ooh, love that. By Brian Jock. Uh-oh, chat's coming first and fast now. In the Rubble by Claire Perry. Alrighty, hold on, let's get that. Chat's moving so quick now. Claire Perry. All right, that's number 6. Number 7. Oh, you're saying Uglies by Scott Westerfield. Excellent. Mike Ferry's grabbing that Chronicles of Elysium. Age of Stone. All right, 8. Let's see. I think we probably have enough now. Let's see as I catch up here. Rafi says Phantom Toll Booth. That's an R.L. Stine, right? I think that's a classic Goosebumps, or is it older than that? I remember it's like a classic horror. I'm sure I've read it. Courier Maloney wants The Stand by Stephen King. Good old Steve King. Think anyone calls him Steve? Never heard anybody call him Steve. Let's see. Phoenix. I'm not sure if yours went through, but throw it up there. Joshua says Skullduggery Pleasant. Boy, that's a name. Who was that one by? Derek Landry. All right, I recognize that name. I think Derek Landy. Raffi, I think I got yours. What was it? Phantom Toll Booth, right? Yeah. I got that. All right, Phoenix. Phoenix, throw me yours, and then I'll take one more here, which I think has already been in. Where was it? I saw one more here. Fluke by Brian Klaas. All right, y'all. John dies at the end, says Phoenix. All right, John dies in the end. By where was it? I can't read today. David Wong. There we go. All right, folks. There's our 12. There we go. There's our 12. So, folks, if you're new to this, here's how it's gonna go. I have 12 titles that you have submitted. I am gonna roll a d12. Whatever number comes up is the title that we are going to do, and then once a title vacates, once one has been chosen, the spot will open up, and first person to shout out another book title that I see, so I will do my best to see it as it comes in, will fill that spot. That way we always have a running list of 12. And to update you guys, our list at the moment is Mr. Be Gone by Clive Barker, Scythe by Neil Shusterman, House on Needless Street, Uglies by Scott Westerfield, Redwall by Brian Jock, In the Rubble by Claire Perry, Chronicles of Elysium, Age of Stone, Phantom Tollbooth by, I think it's R.L. Stine, we'll look it up, The Stand by Stephen King, Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy, Fluke by Brian Klass, and John Dies at the End by David Wong. I think it's at the end. I typed in the end. It's Ink in the Rubble. Wait, so Ink in the Rubble. Okay. Thank you for that, Tessac. Appreciate you. And thank you for the follow, Beetle. Rock on, my guy. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all, thanks for joining me. Let's dive right into it. We have our 12. First of all, y'all, what dice color do we want? Shout out some dice colors. I'm going to pick one here. We got a lot of good options. I'll leave it right here. Let me scroll up. I'll leave it right there. What are we looking at? What do we want? Black and gold? Where's the black and gold? Is that this one right here, the copper? Well, let me click in and see. Oh, I didn't mean to click like that. Hold please. This one? Is that what you're talking about? Copper Dragon, it's called. We got a Fire and Ice, Fiery Orange. Justin, when titles get read off, just shout out your next one, and the first title that I see to replace it will replace it on the list. Alright, Copper Dragon looked pretty popular for the die, so there we go, folks. Nice pick. Hey, look, it matches my vibe today, huh? Phoenix, roll the dice to choose the dice. Alright, y'all. First roll of the day. What are we getting? What number's coming up here? Gonna get Redwall, Chronicles of Elysium, Mr. Be Gone. Let's see. Fingers crossed for a good one. Shake it up and roll it out. Oh, good roll. That went far. 10. Skullduggery Pleasant by Derek Landy. Now, I have never heard of this book. I don't know what we're about to find. It's a cool looking cover. It looks like... Wow, this is book 11, so let's go ahead and get to book 1, huh? Okay, here's book 1. Wow, very cool cover. I'm already a fan. Let's get a close look at that cover, y'all. Getting urban fantasy vibes, I think, from it. Thanatos, good morning. Tide and Terra, good to see you too. Y'all, welcome in. Thanks for being here. I hope you had a good weekend without me, but I'm back in the saddle now. And I see the next title making it in. Looks like Evans Ryle was the one to get it in. So it said The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. All right, there it is. Replaced on the list. TNT, you said, my friend got me the leather-bound signed Mistborn, and I couldn't be happier. Ooh, that's a good friend. Yo, give them a big hug for me, man. That's awesome. Mex, I have not read Annihilation. I hear it's creepy though, and kind of thought-provoking. I don't know. I'd have to read it. I don't know if I'm ready for it. You know, it's kind of a vibe, like not a good one. I hear, good book, but like sad story. Minister of Yeats, you've not missed any. We've just rolled our first book of the day, Skullduggery Pleasant, by Derek Landy. They made you read it in elementary school. Okay, so it seems like it's a little bit younger then. Yeah, okay, aged 11 plus. Well, y'all, all I gotta say is the cover's sick. I absolutely love the color of the cover. I'm also a real big... I'm a fan of these, like, highlighter, like, smudges across with font through them. That looks cool. But we are here to read the words. Let us read... well, not the Audible sample. Why are you offering an Audible sample? I want to read, the opening lines, y'all. That's page 2. Can we get page 1? Alright, we can do it this way at least, but boy, that is teeny tiny. FaZe, you said, what's up, man? Love seeing you pop up on my For You page. What headphones are those? Love the mic quality. Oh, thank you, FaZe. The headphones, I don't get asked that a lot. Good question. They are a Sennheiser, I'm not sure. They're definitely by Sennheiser, which have partnered with like Massdrap, I think. So I think it's called like Mass X Sennheiser or something. It's really just a mid-tier Sennheiser, but yeah, I love them. My old pair lasted for like 10 years. Jack Mary, we have read the opening to Dungeon Crawler Carl. TNT, I can zoom, but it gets really weird on this preview, so I don't zoom in too much. But, alright folks, let's read these lines and talk about them. Appreciate that though, TNT. Chapter 1, Stephanie. Gordon Edgley's sudden death came as a shock to everyone, not least himself. One moment he was in his study, 7 words into the 25th sentence of the final chapter of his new book, and the darkness reigned upon them, and the next he was dead. A tragic loss, his mind echoed numbly as he slipped away. The funeral was attended by family and acquaintances, but not many friends. Gordon hadn't been a well-liked figure in the publishing world, for although the books he wrote, tales of horror and magic and wonder, regularly reared their heads in bestseller lists, he had the disquieting habit of insulting people without realizing it, then laughing at their shock. It was Gordon's funeral, however, that Stephanie Edgley first caught sight of the gentleman in the tan overcoat. Alright, so let's talk about that opening chapter. Phoenix, surprising no one who knows you love DCC. Dungeon Crawler Carl is a lot of fun. It really is. Saugus Town, yes, Red Rising does have an incredible opening. We've read it a lot on stream. It's a good, strong start. Big fan of it. Raffi, you can change your book. I will allow it, my friend. Special privileges. Alright, so let's look at this opening. I like that the author, I'm assuming it's talking about an author dying right off the bat. I love that it has to stop to mention his newest book title. That's very realistic. Can speak from experience, not from dying, but from slotting your book title in there, for sure. Very real. And then also, I love a tragic loss. His mind echoed numbly as he slipped away. It's like he's narrating his own death. Very author, very appropriate. So let's see. Also, just a little bit of playfulness in the opening line. Gordon Edgley's death, sudden death, came as a shock to everyone, not least himself. Fair. I think I will also be shocked. Should that ever occur, but the odds are iffy there. I'm just waiting until they can upload me into a computer, y'all. That's my retirement plan. I also like the specificity of one moment he was in his study, 7 words into the 25th sentence of the final chapter of his new book. Now, it looks like this is a bit of a weird preview, but the first 2 paragraphs don't get too much into let's see. There we go. Now I can read the full thing. Into the story. So if we go to the next one, let's read one more paragraph, because it ends with a little bit of a teaser at the end of the first paragraph. It was at Gordon's funeral, however, that Stephanie Edgley first caught sight of the gentleman in the tan overcoat. That feels like a main character introduction and a little bit of a plot seed there. By the way, Minister of Yeats, my friend, I did not thank you for all those gifts for everybody. Holy cow, y'all. I'm so far behind. Mare Bear for the Heart Me, thank you. Melissa Lee, thank you for the Heart Me. And the confetti, my goodness. Going off right off the bat. Missed y'all. Thank you very much, everybody. Minister of Yeats, Titan Terror, Melissa Lee, y'all. So many gifts. So you know the deal. Gifts for gifts. You give me gifts, you get goblins. There you go. One for each of y'all. You know the rules with them. Raffi, did I miss your substituted title? If not, go ahead and throw it there so we can get it. Alright, so we do one more paragraph. Here it is. He was standing under the shade of a large tree, away from the crowd. The coat buttoned up all the way, despite the warmth of the afternoon. A scarf was wrapped around the lower half of his face, and even from her position on the far side of the grave, Stephanie could make out the wild and frizzy hair that escaped from the wide-brimmed hat he wore low over his gigantic sunglasses. Very good description of the guy. Maybe leaning a bit on kind of tropes that we expect in terms of someone not wanting to be seen, but I don't know. It's very vivid in my head, so well done. She watched him, intrigued by his appearance. And then, like he knew he was being observed, he turned and walked back through the rows of headstones and disappeared from sight. Okay, yeah, solid start. Solid start here with Skullduggery Pleasant. I wouldn't mind it getting off the ground maybe a little bit sooner with plot, but it's not bad. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely solid. I like it. Also, I'm obsessed with the cover. The cover alone makes me want to read more. I clearly missed this back in the day, so we will maybe look into that one. But for now, I think it's time to roll another dice, another die. So, Raffi, did you get your subs? Okay, you said change out Phantom Tollbooth for Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett. Okay. You are allowed to retract your title. So, Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett. All right, y'all. So, good to see you, Blaze Gaming. Welcome back. Good to have you, buddy. Hope you had a good weekend. Jack Mary, you said my fallback from DCC is Wriggly Little Hands. Appreciate you, my dude. We'll have to get Wriggly in here for sure before today's stream's over. All right, y'all, if you're new and you don't know what's going on, we have 12 titles that you have submitted of your favorite books. I have a nice D12 right up here, and I am going to roll this D12. It's going to tell us what book we're going to get. Courier. The Stand is currently number 9. So if you're pulling for The Stand, that's what you want right there. Minister of Yeet, we dropped back down to the D12 because the D20 was just too many books to keep track of. 12 felt a bit more appropriate. But, guys, as I roll the die, whatever number comes up, there's going to be an open spot on the list. So the first book title that I see after the roll will fill that slot. So go ahead and get your replacement title ready. As a reminder, the list as it stands now is Mr. Be Gone by Clive Barker, Scythe by Neil Shusterman, House on Needless Street, Uglies by Scott Westerfield, Red Wall by Brian Jacques, Ink in the Rubble by Claire Perry, Chronicles of Elysium, Age of Stone, Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett, The Stand by Stephen King, The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks, Fluke by Brian Klass, and John Dies at the End by David Wong. Did we do Scythe last stream, Minister? I thought so. Let me pull it up, but I wasn't sure. Yes, okay, that's the one. Okay, I remember this one with the Reaper coming. Okay, so, sorry, I do not like to repeat in back-to-back streams, so we have a new list, or an open spot. So, next title. Oh, Emily, okay, that was yours. So, Novice by Tarzan Matharu. You mean, is that Taran Matharu? I am good friends with Taran, believe it or not. He is an excellent dude. I would love to read one of Taran's on stream. Now I'm pulling for that. Minister, I do wipe the list after every stream, so just shout your titles out, and we'll get them back on there. Otherwise, the list would just constantly be full, but I like when the folks get here early. You know, the reward for being here is you get to shout out your title. So yeah, let's go for it. Rolling the dice, y'all. Let's see what it is and get your titles ready for the replacement. Here we go. Shake it up and roll it out. 7. We have Chronicles of Elysium, Age of Stone. All right. JOJ, I saw yours came in a little bit before the roll, so that means we have Wriggly Little Hands by Alex Knight from Jack. I'll do that one just on my own. I'll just pick it at some point, so no need to put it on there. We'll definitely get it. So that means, let's see, the next one after that was Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. That was last time. We didn't get to it, I don't think, right? So that's going to place it on the list. Elizabeth Frankenstein. All right, number 7 was Chronicles of Elysium, Age of Stone. So let's look it up. Now, I believe this is written by a viewer. So obviously, I'm going to say only positive that no. Oh, it's a beautiful cover. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Big fan of the cover. God of Guns, you said it's crazy I popped up on your For You page. You just started reading my books after someone recommended it? Well, first of all, thank you. That's amazing. Which one are you reading, dude? That's so cool. Thank you. Um, I love that. That's really cool. Let me know what you think of them, and thanks for being here. This was written by Max Knight. Let's see. I tried to get the cover up. Here we go. Yeah, I dig this cover. It's a little a-traditional, at least for the current market, but it feels like it's got like classic fantasy vibes, you know? I'm a big fan of it. It feels like it's taking me back to the days of when epic fantasy was a big, big genre. It's a beautiful cover. So the Chronicles of Elysium, but that's not. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, Age of Stone, Book 1. That was the correct book. So let's see the words. Let's read this sample. All right, skip the preface. We're going to go to the first text. So here we go. I appreciate also that this is a nice big font. I can read this one without squinting. All right. Tide and Terra, we did already fill the open slot, but save that rec. And after the next dice roll, I'll take the next one that I see come up. All right. Chronicles of Elysium. AKA, I don't know what you mean by unk eyes. I'm a bit worried. All right. Chapter 1, A Glowing World. The warm June air enveloped me like a sweet embrace, thick with the intoxicating fragrance of blooming flowers. Nestled comfortably in the embrace of a time-worn Adirondack chair in my serene backyard, I found solace in the pages of my beloved novel, A Cat's Promise, Secrets of the Kingdom, by Rin Ogawa. Just as I was losing myself in the thrilling world of virtual realities, a strange, pulsating teal glow caught my attention, emanating mysteriously from one of the stepping stones that dotted my path. My heart raced with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Curiosity became a beacon, compelling me to approach. All right, so let's talk about it. And thank you for the follow, Madman Augie. Appreciate that. Very kind to you. All right, so let's talk about it. The warm June air enveloped me like a sweet embrace, thick with an intoxicating fragrance of blooming flowers. I do like the detail of the blooming flowers. Going with a description opening, a scene setting opening. Not personally my favorite. But there's nothing wrong with it necessarily. It's art is subjective. It sets a nice, comfortable scene. This seems like a comfortable, relaxing opening, so a bit more appropriate. You wouldn't start with action right out the gate. It's interesting to have a whole novel's title right here in the opening paragraph. It distracted me a little bit because now I need to look up if that's a real book. Was it A Cat's Secrets of the Kingdom? It sure is. Now that's interesting. I've never seen that before. It's an actual real book shouted out in the beginning of this one. Interesting. That's I guess that gives you an idea of the time period. We know it's taking place in the modern day. Okay. Let's read one more paragraph. In a dazzling twist of fate, Serena found herself transported from the serene embrace of her backyard garden into a vibrant cityscape bursting with life and energy. The air vibrated with an electric hum, rich with the symphony of urban sounds, a harmonious blend of soft whispers from the wind and the lively chatter of an ever-bustling populace. Interesting. There's a bit of a shift there from first-person POV in the first two paragraphs to third PV, so it seems like it's omniscient narrator. A bit of a Portal fantasy right off the bat. I'm very intrigued. I have some questions that I want answered, which is the most important thing you can do to readers. Make them ask questions so they stick around to read more. But y'all, let's just talk about this cover again for a minute. It's awesome. Huge fan of this cover. I love this art around the art. Art around the art. What are we doing here? The frame, the stylistic frame around the cover, very cool. Joey said, I really hate reading, but I enjoy your content. Joey, thank you, my friend. Hey, try audiobooks, dude. Audiobooks are... A lot of people that don't traditionally like reading have fun in audiobooks. So give it a shot. I hope that works for you. But y'all, there was Chronicles of Elysium. Thank you for submitting that, Mike. I appreciate that. We're going to have to run roll another die here. But first, Minister of Yeats and Mare Bear and Melissa, y'all, giving gifts like crazy. Thank you so much. Y'all don't got to do that, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You know the deal, guys. Goblin, for you. Goblin, for you. And double goblin for the last one. Thank you, guys. I think you know the rules. Don't feed them after midnight. Hide all the matches in your house. Your house will never be clean again. But they're really cute, so it's worth it. Right? Right? Probably. I think it is. They're all over my house. I saw an answer to one of my questions earlier. God of Guns said your friend started reading Warden, or he had you start reading Warden Nova Online. So far, you're enjoying. Well, thank you. I'm so glad to hear that, man. I'm really happy. Sorry, Melissa distracted me. You said you don't need any more goblins. Double it and give it to the next person. All right, so we got 2 for the next gift. Did the camera blur? It looks like I think it's fixed now. Yeah, sometimes putting my hands up there messes with it. Melissa said double the goblins and give them to the next person. All right, double goblin for the next person. Well, I hope you enjoy that, God of Guns. Enjoy Nova Online. Thank you very much for that. Y'all, if you don't know, these are my books. And, oh boy, now it's blurry again. Hold on. We fix. There we go. Wow, that's so much more crystal clear. It looks like it was a little bit blurry anyway. Anyway, these are my books. God is talking about this one down here. Thank you for reading it, my friend. I hope you enjoy it. BW Static X says I started reading House of Leaves. I don't like how it starts. It starts getting weird after page 111. Interesting. That one is. I've not read it either, but from what I've seen of it, it is a little bit interesting. You know. Phoenix, you just bought Wrigley? Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Y'all, my newest book, Phoenix just picked up a copy. It's on Amazon. Links are in my bio. Please do check it out. I'm a big fan of it. It's about goblins on a road trip for the Dark Lord and all the ways they mess it up. Because, well, they're goblins. There it is. All right. But thank you, Phoenix. I appreciate that. Y'all, let's roll the dice again. The die. I know that the correct singular of dice is die, but boy, does it feel weird to say it. Anyway, y'all, what number are we getting? We got a full list of 12 here, and we're going to see what we roll. Next book, here we come. 10, again, second time we've rolled a 10 today. The Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. Let's put that in here. It should be dice and cheese. Yes, I agree, Mare Bear. I agree. All right. It looks like Minister of Yeats got in next with Armada by Ernest Cline. My wife has read that one. Thank you for suggesting it, Minister. Appreciate that, my friend. Here we go. Way of Shadows by Brent Weeks. Yep, that's the correct one. Let's grab our cover and throw it up here real quick. Dramatic cover. I like it. Atypically shaped sword, too. I think that's kind of cool. I like when swords buck the trend a little bit. Mike, have a good one, my friend. Thank you for recommending Chronicles of Elysium. Thanks for being here. Have a good evening, dude. 4-6, the bean juice is hot today. It is delicious. I actually ran out of sugar, so we're sweetened with like Splenda today, but it's all right. It's doing good. How about you? I hope you got some good coffee going. All right. Y'all, thank you for being here. I appreciate you hanging out. Let's do The Way of Shadows. I know that this is a beloved book. Classic fantasy, I believe, right? I've not read it myself, but yeah. Oh, that's kind of funny. Look, 8,888 ratings. Y'all, someone go give it a rating. Someone buy it, read it, and give it a rating so we can push it up one, because that's too perfect to be allowed to stand. Blaze, you're about to make your coffee. What are you going to have in it, dude? How's that coffee going to... Ooh, sorry, real quick. Look at the inversion here. On here, you know, white with red. That's pretty sick. But then here, it's going for the black and white. That looks pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. Nice work, Orbit. I was actually just at the Orbit booth at San Diego Comic-Con. They were displaying their books really well, and honestly, their folks were really nice. Actually, I was swinging by to take a picture of a friend's book that was at the booth, so I got him a picture of it. Emily, thank you for the gift. Appreciate that. And as we said, double gift for the next person. So, Emily, 2 goblins for you. You can thank Melissa for that. She doubled them and passed them on to the next person. Like an on-the-street interview. Blaze, you're going to have a French... Oh, I'm blurry again. Camera doesn't like me today. Hold, please. We fix. I think it fixed itself right before I forced it to. That's all right. Blaze Gaming, you said it's a French vanilla cappuccino with half and half creamer. Oh, boy. Very nice. Nice, my dude. Minister, I think you do have like 20 goblins. I really think you do. I appreciate it. I need to come up with bigger gifts for you guys. All right. Evan, you said is there something missing from the start? There's like a different start to this. This is just where it says chapter 1, but I know some editions are a little bit different. Let me know if there's a different beginning, and I can try to find it. But otherwise, we do have one here. So, hey, Poison, welcome in. Good to see ya. I don't know if you've been here for this format, maybe once or twice, but welcome in. How you been? Good to see you. I hope you've been doing well. Hope the new semester is going good for you. All right, let's read this opening. Y'all, if I missed a question, there were a lot that came in there. Please ask again later, and I would love to answer it. But right now, Way of Kings by Brent Weeks. Let's see. Azoth squatted in the alley, cold mud squishing through his bare toes. Ugh, that's an unpleasant detail right off the bat. Azoth squatted in the alley, cold mud squishing through his bare toes. He stared at the narrow space beneath the wall, trying to get his nerve up. The sun wouldn't come up for hours, and the tavern was empty. Most taverns in the city had dirt floors, but this part of the Warrens had been built over marshland, and not even drunks wanted to drink standing in ankle-deep mud. So the tavern had been raised a few inches on stilts, and floored with stout bamboo poles. Coins sometimes dropped through the gaps in the bamboo, and the crawl space was too small for most people to go after them. The guild's bigs were too big, and the littles were too scared to squeeze into the suffocating darkness shared with spiders and cockroaches and rats, and the wicked half-wild tomcat the owner kept. Worst was the pressure of the bamboo against your back, flattening you every time a patron walked overhead. It had been Azoth's favorite spot for a year, but he wasn't as small as he used to be. Last time he got stuck and spent hours panicking until it rained and the ground softened beneath him enough that he could dig himself out. Oh boy. What an opening. That is an unpleasant image there, dude. I love how original that is, though. I think I can truly say that I've never read an opening like this that starts with this particular setup of like a tavern that has, gaps in the floor, so coins sometimes drop through, and the main character is just the right size to be able to squeeze in there. And get it, but then it's such a tight fit that you get stuck sometimes. Bro, I love this. Also, the detail of like this part of the city was built over marshland, and the tavern had to be raised on stilts. Like this is just really original right off the bat. Absolutely awesome. I'm a big fan. I would definitely read on. Yeah, I'm really uncomfortable with what's coming next with like squeezing under there. I hope he doesn't get stuck again, but. Excellent opening. Big fan of this. Let's just real quick. I want to talk about the opening line. Azoth squatted in the alley, cold mud squishing through his bare toes. I feel like that's a really good tone setter right off the bat. Just opens it up, kind of tells you what to expect, but also gives you a visual that makes you stick around for a minute. I did have like a little shiver that went through me on reading that because I was like, oh no, no, thank you. Excellent job, Brent Weeks. I see why. This was a very beloved book. That was a heck of an opening. Yeah, Free Flight Angel. It would give me anxiety just thinking about it. Also, I saw, where was it? Someone had something. Oh, someone mentioned Project Hail Mary. Dakota. I was at SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con, and got lucky enough to be at the Audible panel where Andy Weir was with his narrator and producer for Project Hail Mary. That was incredible. Seems like an awesome dude. First I've really seen of an interview or a talk with Andy Weir. I knew he was a cool dude, but even cooler than I thought. And I do need to read Project Hail Mary. My wife read it, raved about it. It's on my to be read list. Just got a couple things to go through first. But yeah, that was awesome. Seems like an awesome dude. I'm glad it's grabbed you, Dakota. Andy Weir is doing, I think, meaningful things in sci-fi. He's making science cool and keeping it relatively realistic. I think there's a lot of value in that. We need more of that. It's kind of like how you have nature documentaries that inspire kids and then they grow up to love and want to preserve nature. I feel like Weir is doing something similar with science, and that's important. Oh yes, and I've heard the audio version is absolutely amazing. It's one of those books that as soon as you read it, people are like, but if you listen to the audiobook. Which I think he just passed 2 million sales of that book, which is pretty nuts. So, well done, Andy. Weirdo, welcome in. Good to see you. And Poison, I think you said you had been here for one of these, but it's been a little while. Well, welcome back. I'm so glad to see you, Poison. I hope you're doing well. You just finished your summer finals, dude. Congrats. Rock on. Happy for you. That's awesome to hear. Quick sip of the bean juice, and then shall we roll a die again? Y'all, to review real quick. Well, I'm moving right. I didn't even get my drink of coffee, and I'm moving past it already, so hold one moment. All right, so the list as it stands now. So how's this going to work, y'all? I'm going to roll my D12 here. Whatever number it gives us is the book we are going to read. Once the die roll is complete, first title that I see in chat, once the die has stopped moving, will be the one that replaces the book we're about to read. So if you have a title that you want to get on this list, get it ready. We're going to roll here in just a moment. And Mare Bear, part of this music reminds you of the Deku Tree music from Oracle of Ages/Seasons. I'm not familiar with that. It's a Zelda game, I think. But yeah, it is kind of like general gamey, cozy vibe. I'm a fan of it. It's pretty great. Poison, we missed you as well. It's a pleasure to have you back. Weirdo, you said I'm officially a profitable writer/game designer. 700 downloads. Hey, rock on, my guy. Dude. Y'all, shout out for Weirdo. Is it on Steam, Weirdo? We'll pull it up. We can pull it up real quick. We can pull it up, give it a little look. I guess we can do it in this tab. You said it was Drive-Thru RPG. Oh, it auto-completed for me. Wait, is that the name of the game? Oh, 700 downloads on Drive-Thru RPG. Gotcha. What's the game name, Weirdo? We'll pull that up real quick. We gotta give you a little love here. And congrats, my guy. Search Jaren Magnell. Yo, I love seeing creators succeed in what they're doing. Is it Tales tabletop role-playing game? I'm assuming it must be. Tales TTRPG. There we go. Rock on. A narrative-focused role-playing game. Dude, good work, Weirdo. I'm proud of you. Tales is a tabletop role-playing game meant for telling stories. It requires a lot of cooperation between players and the players and GM for the creation of spells and weapons and abilities. Let's go, my guy. Rock on. Well done, Weirdo. I'm proud of you. All right, y'all. Next die roll. I always want to say dice, but the singular is die. Rich, good morning, my friend. It's a pleasure to have you back. How you doing? You recovered from Lit RPG Con, I hope? Ready to rock and roll? All right, y'all. Next roll. Here we go. Shake it up and out. 6. Ink in the Rubble by Claire Perry. All right. And the first one I see in here is No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. All right, that's on the list. Let's go ahead and put our new title in here. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. Let's see, JoJo. Rock on. Thank you very much. Pleasure to have you here. All right, here we go. Ink in the Rubble by Claire Perry. Another interesting cover. Book 1 of the Resistance Journals. The blood on the cover there is very interesting. Rafi just happy for the 6. Love it. Courier Maloney, am I the only one that listens to Rain ASMR while I read? No, that sounds lovely, Courier. I will stop what I'm doing often if there's a good rainstorm and go read for a minute, just because, God, when that rain comes and it's hitting right, you gotta sit down and kick back with a book. Dakota, you're dipping? Hey, have a good one. Thank you for being here. Been a pleasure to have you. Rain is heaven for reading. Yes, it is. All right, let's talk about this book, Ink in the Rubble, by Claire Perry. Let's get our sample up in here. Oh, right to it. I love that. Didn't make me click anything. We're just right to the beginning. Dakota, it'll be a pleasure to have you back. I appreciate that. You have a good rest of your day, my friend. All right. June 23rd, 2023. It's recent. Entry number 1. If you're reading this, then maybe I didn't make it. Maybe this little notebook outlived me, stuffed in my coat, forgotten in rubble, or picked up off the floor of some shelter where I was supposed to be safe. Or maybe I'm just being dramatic. It's hard not to be today. That's a good start right there. I dig it. It's a classic. If you're reading this, I must be dead. But I'm interested now. I want to know why would it be forgotten in rubble or found on the floor of some shelter? Interesting. Yeah, I'm interested. June 23rd. I was thinking this might be like Ukraine adjacent, but that's not the right date. I don't believe it started in like February or March. Today was the day it all started. The war, our war. I woke up to sirens, not my phone alarm, not an ambulance, real air raid sirens, deep and mechanical, like a scream from the sky. I didn't move at first, just laid there, heart pounding, half expecting it to be a test or some kind of mistake. But it wasn't. Ooh, that's too real, right? Have y'all ever been in a situation like that where, like, you hear a legitimate emergency broadcast, could be for weather or whatever, gas leak in the neighborhood, like, you hear a legitimate broadcast, and there's a moment of, like, wait, is this actually happening? And you keep waiting for it to be like, this is a test, and it's not? That's a very good detail. I live on the 3rd floor of a half-cracked old apartment block. Concrete walls, peeling paint, a balcony full of laundry. I've been too tired to fold for 3 days. It's nothing special, but it's mine. It was mine. Okay, so this is... Look, here's a good... there's a good example of making your readers ask questions. Real quick, Pandora Golden Sprite, beautiful name, and welcome in. Happy Wednesday to you. So the way it works with the suggestions is when stream starts, I take the first 12 that people suggest, and then we roll a d12 to read, to see which title we're going to read. Whenever I roll the die, when it stops moving, the first title that I see will go on the list to replace the one that was just selected by the die. So if you have a title you want to suggest, just get it typed up, and next time I roll the die, have it ready to send. First one I see when the die stops is what will be on the list. But I was trying to say about the opening of this, which, by the way, let's pull that cover up again. Ink in the Rubble by Claire Perry. I think it does a really good job in the opening because it's making me ask questions so much that I want to keep reading. Each paragraph is giving me a little bit of an answer. But not enough. It's almost stringing me along, making me ask more questions. It's exactly how you want to do it, folks. I mean, I'm a professional author. This is what I do for a living, and I'm sitting here wanting to read the next paragraph. I've already read, three? 3 of them in a short one, and I want to read the 4th one and keep going. Very interesting. I believe the author is in stream and said it's basically a diary of the main character. It's very interesting. Hey, y'all, give it a look. Support our small authors. Thank you very much for suggesting it. And now, time for another book, I think. Real quick, before we do another roll, if you will indulge me a moment, y'all. If you don't know me, I'm author Alex Knight, and we're here streaming every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. Different formats each day. Friday, we're going to make a fantasy map live on screen. It's going to be something like this. It's this one up here. This is the map we've been working on. We're filling it in. We're almost done with it. I think 2 more Fridays, and it's going to be done. But, y'all, I am a full-time author. Here's some of my books. But the main one that I really want to push, if you want to support me, guys, support the stream, Wriggly Little Hands is my newest book. It is a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip to save the Dark Lord. And, well, man, if you got to rely on goblins to get you out of trouble, things are not going well. Links are in my bio if you want to read my comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip. I ask you to please give it a look. I'd appreciate it. And if I can entice you for a moment, I'm going to butt in real quick and read the opening lines of my own book in here. Minister, your copy's on the way. I appreciate that, my friend. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoy it. I saw this thing's been popping off on Audible right now. I'm getting more Audible reviews than Amazon reviews, which is very funny to me. But hey, rock on. The audiobook's great. So here's our cover. I guess I won't critique it because it's my own cover, but I'll just say that the artist did an incredible job, and I'm a massive fan of it. Yeah, Mayor Bear, all my books are on Goodreads as well. You can find them there. But all right, let's do Wriggly Little Hands. Y'all, real quick, I love that guy. That's one of the chapter heading arts that I had an artist make, and I loved this one so much I had to stick it in the cover page as well. Andrew, you can buy it anywhere you want. It's through you can get it. You can request it through like Barnes and Noble and stuff, or your local bookstore. There's also a link in my bio to get a signed copy from my local bookstore. It's the only place to buy signed copies. But you can get it on Amazon or Audible too. Those are anywhere you can buy it. It's a great way to support me. I'm more than happy to have it. That's very kind of you, though. I appreciate that. All right, y'all, let's read the opening of this one. If I can be a little bit selfish for a moment. Goblins look like if cats, hairless cats, had thumbs and learned to walk on 2 legs. But while cats are allowed to commit as many crimes as they want on account of being cute and small, the same hasn't been true of goblins ever since they discovered arson. Today, however, it wasn't goblins setting fire to everything. Ollie had been excited at first, when so many new friends had shown up on the plains of abandoned hope and paralyzing fear. He'd been even more excited when he noticed all the fun siege engines and war mammoths they'd brought along. But then his new friends, the Bright Queen and the Army of the Just, had laid siege to his old friends, the Dark Lord and his legions of smoldering shadow. In Goblin society, it was polite to greet new neighbors with a nice newt cake or a fresh pot of warmed mud. In human society, it seemed wanton slaughter was the go-to. That was how the Bright Queen had decided to introduce herself to the Dark Lord, at least. And who was Ollie to judge? Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, though. They could do it all a bit quieter. So there we go. Opening lines to Wriggly Little Hands. Thank you very much for indulging me. I hope you enjoyed it. It is a very goofy book. Very silly. If you give it a read, let me know what you think about it. Let's see. S. Raker said, what is considered fantasy? Fantasy is a pretty wide-ranging genre. A lot fits into it. Really kind of what isn't fantasy really is how I would say. There's so many different genres of fantasy. I'd say anything really that's not modern. Even modern day could be. Fantasy is a huge genre. I'm not sure I'm equipped to give a definition of it. Let's see. If we Google it... I guess what is fantasy genre? I mean, it's such a wide-ranging thing. I can't even pull a definition off the top of my head. Fantasy is a genre of speculative fiction that involves supernatural or magical elements, often including imaginary places and creatures. Thank you, Wikipedia. That's a good breakdown. Leisha said, I like that it really doesn't set the Bright Queen in a very good light. Yeah, well, I mean, the first time Ollie's met her and she just rolls up and lays siege to his friend, you know? Kind of rude. Kind of rude. Poison, you said beautiful opening line. Appreciate you. That's very kind of you. Someone asked which one is Ollie on the cover here. I kind of leave it up to you guys. You tell me which one's Ollie. I don't think I can point high enough. Yeah, see my finger gets cut off. But the one driving with the goggles has like main character energy, right? I feel like I see that every time. But the artist didn't. I didn't tell the artist where to put each goblin character, each character. So any one of these, and in my head canon, I think that this one here in the middle with his arm over the side, I feel like that's Ollie. But I leave it up to you. You guys let me know. What are your theories? Yeah, see, Raffi agrees with me. Shrimpo on YouTube, hello. Welcome in. And you have a name in Hangul. Let me see if I can read it. See an N-O-N, so Non-Non, I think, as the name. Am I saying that right? Non-Non? Or no, Noon, I think, because it's downward, so it's like ooh, Nunu. Let me know, Shrimpo, if I read that right. Anyway, your favorite one is Horse, Blaze. I appreciate that. Horse is lovely. I've had a lot of questions about Horse for book 2. Get some answers maybe. All right, y'all. Next die roll. So if you have a book that you want to add to our list, get the title ready, and I'm gonna roll here. When the die stops moving, first title I see in chat is going to be added to the list. So get them ready. 'Cause here comes the next roll. Shake it up and roll it out. 12. The nat 20 equivalent of a D on a D12. All right, I see Pandora got in there first. I think, yeah, I think Pandora's is who came in, is what I saw first there. So, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Oh, we're getting some cultivation in here, huh? Interesting. I think it's one of our first cultivation outside of like Will White's Cradle. All right, but the number 12, did I say what it was? It is John Dies at the End. Oh, interesting cover. I don't know if I've seen that cover before. Very interesting cover. I'm a fan, y'all. Check this out. That's some cool looking art, right? John Dies at the End. Oh wait, but that's a different name though. I think someone said by David. It was given with David Wong. Oh, okay. There's two authors, Jason Pargin and David Wong. Did I just miss that on there? Yeah, no, it doesn't say it like on here. It just says Jason Pargin. Anywho, love the cover. Very dramatic. Given like Dia de los Muertos vibes. I dig it. Let's get to the opening. Skip the forward. All right, prologue. We start where the prose begins. So, prologue. I need to see the movie. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't read the book, but I've heard nothing but praise. Let's give it a read. See what's what. Solving the following riddle will reveal the awful secret behind the universe, assuming you do not go utterly mad in the attempt. I always say your opening lines gotta make the readers ask a question, ask themselves a question, and boy, I got questions after that opening. Solving the following riddle will reveal the awful secret behind the universe, assuming you do not go utterly mad in the attempt. If you already happen to know the awful secret behind the universe, feel free to skip ahead. That's a good opening. Let's say you have an axe, just a cheap one from Home Depot. On one bitter winter day, you use said axe to behead a man. Don't worry, the man was already dead. Or maybe you should worry because you're the one who shot him. This is great. He had been a big, twitchy guy with veiny skin stretched over swollen biceps, a tattoo of a swastika on his tongue, teeth filed into razor-sharp fangs. You know the type. And you're chopping off his head because, even with 8 bullet holes in him, you're pretty sure he's about to spring back to his feet and eat the look of terror right off your face. Astounding, guys. Astounding. This is how you open a book. It just drops you right into the moment. I love it. This is an incredible opening. I'm going to read one more paragraph because I don't want to stop. On the follow-through of the last swing, though, the handle of the axe snaps in a spray of splinters. You now have a broken axe. So, after a long night of looking for a place to dump the man and his head, you take a trip into town with your axe. You go to the hardware store, explaining away the dark reddish stains on the broken handle as barbecue sauce. You walk out with a brand new handle for your axe. Okay. Wow. That is an opening, y'all. Talk about getting attention. I think I could go so far as to say every sentence of this draws you in to want to read more. It almost makes you ask a question. Solving the following riddle will reveal the awful secret behind the universe, assuming you do not go utterly mad in the attempt. I mean, that immediately makes you go, well, what's the riddle? Do I even want to solve it? What's going on here? If you already happen to know the awful secret behind the universe, feel free to skip ahead. I love that so much. That's just a killer opening paragraph. It tells you tonally what to expect, right? I'm expecting this book to be silly, goofy, a little bit dark, which, very reinforced from the following paragraphs. I also really love the misdirect. This is such a good... I'm a big fan of like what I call the 1-2 punch in openings, like, left hook, right hook, uppercut, right? That's exactly what it does with this. On a bitter winter day, you use said axe to behead a man. And you're like, oh my god. And it goes, don't worry, the man was already dead. And you're like, ah, good. Or maybe you should worry because you're the one who shot him. It's such a like, it's like, whoa, and then, oh, okay, it's not on me. Oh my god, it is on me. Those little like kind of jerking you left to right, that's a great way to keep people interested. This is really good. Interesting. I'm going to leave this one up because it has intrigued me. I might need to read that. My TBR pile does not need more books added to it, but I'm very intrigued. Rock on. Thank you, whoever suggested that. That's a heck of a book. Or a heck of an opening. I'm very impressed with it. But yeah, y'all, that was a fun one, but you know what time it is now. Gotta roll the dice again. Real quick, though, before we do, guys, if you don't know who I am, author Alex Knight. I've been writing full-time since 2018. I've published, many books these days. Here's some of them. But the newest one, Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about goblins on a road trip. I hope you pick it up. Give it a look. The links are all in my bio. You can get the audiobook, ebook, paperback, any format you want. Links are in my bio. It supports me. It supports the stream. Give it a look if you're interested. I would appreciate it. Folks, I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time, doing something new and interesting each day. Today we are reading the opening lines of books you guys have suggested. But real quick, Emily asked, do you have any tips for new authors? Yeah, I do. And Minister, I'll answer your question real quick too. Minister, I do make a living off my writing. It's a close thing. Some years are better than others. I am currently working on growing it to something more steady, but I have been full-time since 2018. Some years better than others, but we're working to get that consistency in here. Emily, as to tips for new authors, don't start writing a novel. Write short stories. Start with short stories. They're much shorter. They're a lot quicker to write. They teach you everything you need to know to write a novel, but they're quicker. You can submit them to short story contests. You can get feedback. Start there. Write a bunch of short stories, then try for novels. I'm telling you, start there. It is the better way to do it. You wouldn't go from not being able to run to running a marathon, right? You'd start with like running a mile, running a 5K, running a 10K, running a half marathon, then running a marathon. That's what short stories are. Short stories are your 5Ks that you run before your marathon. Rafi, to be fair, Rafi said, catch me not taking that advice and suffering the whole while. Rafi, you started writing, though, before I gave that advice, before stream, so you're exempt, my friend. You didn't hear the warning in time. Melissa said you would go straight to running a marathon. You just have to hate yourself. Yeah, you'd be in for a lot of pain. Okay. Elsie, good morning. Good timing. Welcome in. We are going to roll our die here. Elsie, I hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday. Hope you had a good Friday and weekend when I was traveling and unable to stream, but we are back, ready to rock and roll. We've done some good book titles today. Just as a reminder, y'all, the list as it stands Mr. Be Gone by Clive Barker, Novice by Taran Matharu, House on Needless Street, Uglies by Scott Westerfield, Redwall by Brian Jacques, No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai, Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein, Moving Pictures by Terry Pratchett, The Stand by Stephen King, Armada by Ernest Cline, Fluke by Brian Klass, and Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation by MXTX. So those are 12. If you have a book that you want to add to that list, after I roll this die, once it stops moving, the first title that I see hit chat will be added to the list to replace the one that we're now going to read. Minister of Yeats, you're feeling a 7. Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein is what 7 would be. I'd be very interested to get The Novice by Taran Matharu. Be a good one. Or Grandmaster Demonic Cultivation. Get some cultivation in here. Full disclosure, Taran is my friend, so I'd love to read his book on stream, but considering that book is an international bestseller and published in dozens of countries, it doesn't really need any help from me, but who knows. Eric Richardson, your favorite book is The Outsider by Stephen King. Rock on. Well, we've got a Stephen King book on the list. Not The Outsider, but The Stand. Let's see if it comes up. Melissa, you're joining Raffi and not saying your number to see if that you can like reverse it, reverse jinx it. All right, well, let's get a roll for it and see, y'all. Roll up the dice and shake it out. 3. House on Needless Street. Melissa, was that yours? I think that was yours, right? Yeah, let's go. And the first title that I saw once the die stopped was Fahrenheit 451. But I believe we just did that one last stream, right? So that's on cooldown. So the second one I see is Warriors Into the Wild, Minister of Yeats. All right, so that's added to the list. Yo, it's bedtime. Your favorite book is Treasure Planet. Melissa, it did work. Apparently, if you don't say the number you want on the die, you get it. So let's see. The House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. Really nice name. My Amazon to be read suggestions are getting insane from this. Yeah, for sure they are. For sure. All right, interesting cover. A true nerve shredder, says Stephen King. Well, that's a heck of an endorsement to have on the front of your book. The Last House on Needless Street. What an ominous cover. I really dig it, though. It's got some like night feeling going on with it. I love this street light down on the fire hydrant, just casting that shadow. I don't know. It really looks good. Other name, do you think we can recommend books we like but had bad openings, or would that be in bad form? I don't want to tear apart any openings. So yeah, probably bad form. I'm not gonna like, if I don't love it, I'm gonna say why, with the caveat that art is obviously subjective. Art is also suggestive, but primarily subjective. But go ahead and suggest them anyway. Just don't suggest them with the caveat that they're bad. That you thought they were bad, and I'll read them and see what I think. But here we go. I think this is where it starts, right? Is that chapter 1? It's just Ted Bannerman. I guess it is. All right. Let's give it a read then. Flesh Over Chrome, you wanted the Discord link? For sure. Y'all, if you want to hang out with this awesome community, once stream is over, here's the Discord link. I've dropped it in both both TikTok and YouTube chat. Please join us there. We'd love to have you. We got over 200 members now. Wonderful community. We do writing sprints, writing critique, share our art, share pet pictures. Basically anything we do on stream, we do off stream in the Discord. So thank you if you care to join. We would love to have you. And there we go. Adelmo, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, buddy. Been a little while. Megan, you said life has been busy, but I hope you've been well, Alex. Well, thank you, Megan. It's good to see you. Hey, I hope it's been good busy. I'm doing very well here. Good busy here for sure. Thomas Carver, good to see you as well. Oh, my Discord link's expired. I hate that happens. That's so annoying. Thank you for that, for letting me know. I will update that after stream. Let me make a note. I don't know why it keeps expiring. Like, I'm grabbing I'm like trying to grab a permanent link and it's not working. But thank you, Leisha, for grabbing a new link. Yeah, I said it. I thought I said it to never expire. It happens once in a while. But Leisha, thank you for grabbing that new link, and I will shout it out once it's there. In the meantime, we are going to do the last house on Needless Street. So, let's do it. I guess Ted Bannerman is the character in this chapter. Today is the anniversary of Little Girl with Popsicle. It happened by the lake 11 years ago. She was there, and then she wasn't. So it's already a bad day when I discover that there is a murderer among us. Olivia lands heavily on my stomach first thing, making high-pitched sounds like clockwork. If there's anything better than a cat on the bed, I don't know about it. I fuss over her because when Lauren arrives later, she will vanish. My daughter and my cat won't be in the same room. I'm up, I say. It's your turn to make breakfast. She looks at me with those yellow-green eyes, then pads away. She finds a disk of sun, flings herself down, and blinks in my direction. Cats don't get jokes. Interesting start. So let's look at that. But real quick, Leisha, thank you for sharing the new link. I will save that for stream today, so the next time we need a link, we can post it. Thank you very much for that, Leisha. Y'all, the link is coming to YouTube chat because Lisa got it in TikTok. There's the Discord if you want to join in. So let's talk about this. It intrigued you immediately with the today is the anniversary of Little Girl with Popsicle. The way that that's capitalized, the L, G, W, and P of Little Girl with Popsicle, makes you think that it is an event that people are familiar with, or a title. But it is a known event that has happened. Happened 11 years ago by the lake. She was there, and then she wasn't. Ominous opening. I know this is like a thriller book. So very, very ominous beginning there. And then a page break right off the bat to a cat jump. Someone waking up to a cat jumping on them. A very peaceful morning. A very different change in pace. This is interesting with these page breaks. I wonder if it's going like dual POVs or something between them. But interesting approach with the page breaks. Again, it makes you ask questions. I would like a little more of this opening paragraph because that was what was most interesting to me. And then going right into the calm morning was a little bit, kind of threw me out of the rhythm a little bit. But with all these page breaks, I suspect something else is going on here. Like it's doing like a dual storyline or something. I think that it would pay off. So yeah, interesting. Megan, you think we get a POV from the cat in this book? Well, look, they're on the cover, so I guess that would make sense. Very fun. All right, well, look, y'all, it's endorsed by Stephen King, so it's a pretty strong endorsement there. And it's sitting at a casual 15,800 reviews on Amazon, so obviously a pretty popular book. Hey, Millie, good to see you. Welcome in. Hope you've been doing well. Minister of Yeats, if you want POV cats, then you definitely need to read Warriors. Is like a Warrior Cats thing? I know it's on the list here. Isabel on YouTube, good to see you. How you been? Yeah, we're doing opening lines today. Which I think we're going to do one more and then wrap it up. So we're going to get one more roll in here for our list. Isabel, sorry, the list is filled up right now. But y'all, the way we do the list is... I take, when the stream starts, I take the first 12 titles that you suggest, that populates our list, and then roll a d12 right up here. Whatever number comes up is the title that we will read, and then after the die has stopped moving, the next title that I see in chat will replace the title that we're going to read on the list. So basically, if you want to get your title in on all rolls except this one coming up, which is our last roll of the day, shout out your title once the die stops moving. and that's how you get on the list. At the end of stream, if I didn't get to the book, it gets wiped off, but please come back next time and suggest it early on for a better shot at getting it read. So let's do our next roll, and then we'll chat for a minute. We'll hang out for a little bit. Millie, you're getting into Avatar: The Last Airbender. I am very familiar with that show. What a lovely show. I hope you enjoy it. There's a lot of content to watch in that world. You get the original series, you got the follow-up with Korra, and you got a new animated series coming soon. It's a good time to get into it. Minister of Yeats, I start at 7 a.m. Central Time. So it's 8:12 a.m. Central Time now for me. But yeah, we start at 7 a.m. Central, which sounds like you might be maybe in Mountain or Pacific Time. But yeah, if you join the Discord, I do a notification, a ping before every day when we start, so you know the moment I'm going live. Poison said, did I see that there is going to be a new Avatar The Blue People movie? I did see that, and it continues its confusing naming structure, sounding like it's from the Avatar: The Last Airbender world, because the last one was Avatar: Way of Water, and I heard the new one something about fire, so those two series continue to parallel each other in annoying ways. All right, y'all. Fire and Ash, says Phoenix. All right, there you go. Y'all, last roll. Let's see what we're going to get. Fingers crossed if you want your title. Let's see what it goes for. Oh, well. Shake it up and roll it out. 2. Oh, okay. Okay, I feel a little biased but excited. I wanted this one. This is The Novice by Taran Matharu. A good buddy of mine. Actually, a big part of why I am an author today is from getting to know Taran. He was instrumental early on in my career. And this is, I think, his best-selling book. It's middle grade YA, kind of in that realm. I've heard it's a really good series. I haven't read it myself, but it's a very well-selling series. Casual 7,600 ratings on Amazon with 35,000 on Goodreads. Hoo boy. Love the cover. Super dramatic. Honestly, my favorite thing about this cover, I love the bright blue. I think that's really cool. It catches the eye. It feels pure and light and beginning. It feels like the beginning of a story, right? I like it. I believe, like most series too, it gets darker as it goes on. At least the covers do. Yeah, green to red. A common trend, but a cool one. All right, so let's read it. Morgan, you're excited about this one. Yeah, y'all, I haven't read it myself, but I have heard nothing but resounding praise from it. Praise for it. And, you know, my buddy wrote it, so we got to shout it out. Oh, Morgan, you read the first book but forgot the name, so you couldn't finish. Well, here you go. It's the Summoner Trilogy by Taran Matharu. Let's give it a read here. Thank you, PBJ Bully. I appreciate the follow. Welcome in. I don't do opening lines of works in progress. I just do books that are published on Amazon. So, hey, once you're there, feel free to submit it. Chapter 1 of The Novice, Summoner, Book 1. It was now or never. If Fletcher didn't make this kill, he would go hungry tonight. Dusk was fast approaching and he was already running late. He needed to make his way back to the village soon, or the gates would close. If that happened, he would either have to bribe the guards with money he didn't have, or take his chances in the woods overnight. Classic fantasy opening. I am a fan of classic fantasy. Yeah, there are tropes, and tropes have been done over and over again, but there's a reason. We like tropes. Tropes are good. Tropes done well? Excellent. And I'm just a sucker for a classic fantasy opening, which is what I'm feeling's coming here. The young elk had just finished rubbing its antlers against a tall pine, scraping the soft velvet that coated them to leave sharp tines beneath. From its small size and stature, Fletcher could tell it was a juvenile, sporting its first set of antlers. It was a fine specimen with glossy fur and bright, intelligent eyes. Fletcher felt almost ashamed to hunt such a majestic creature, yet he was already adding up its value in his head. The thick coat would do well with when the fur traders came by, especially as it was now winter. It would probably make at least 5 shillings. The antlers were in good condition, if a little small. They might fetch 4 shillings if he was lucky. It was the meat he craved the most, gamey red venison that would drip sizzling fat into his cooking fire. All right, now I'm hungry. I don't eat a lot of meat these days, but now I'm hungry, man. That's a primal image right there, sizzling fat dropping into a fire. Need more coffee. My caffeine acts as a hunger suppressant after reading that. I need more of it. Yeah, great start. I'm a big fan. Like I said, I love a classic fantasy opening. This book was published a while ago now. Let's get a date on it here. Come on. There we go. 2016, yeah, so it's a little ways back. You'll notice that there are trends in openings, how they move, what's popular. This is a very 2016 opening, and not in a bad way. No, I dig it. Puts you right into the moment. It's got the hunter in the forest, classic fantasy vibe. But I like that it goes into more detail than just like, oh, we needed this deer or whatever. Like, he's actually assessing the every specific component of the animal that will be processed and sold, or eaten in this case. I dig that. I also really like the line where he needed to make it back to the village soon or the gates would close. If that happened, he would either have to bribe the guards with money he didn't have or take his chances in the woods overnight. Both those things give good additional information about the world without like being very telly about it. I like that he'd have to bribe the guard with money he didn't have. So he could get in there, but, doesn't really have the money for it, or shouldn't be spending the money for it. Or he'd have to brave the woods overnight. Well, what's in the woods overnight that's a problem? Now, see, I'm asking myself questions that keep me reading. Very good, Taryn. Well done, my friend. Big fan of Taryn and his work. What a perfect book to end on. I'm so happy about this. Minister of Yeats, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate that. Forever Rosa. Oh boy. Minister going off here. Thank you, my friend. Goblins for you. You know the drill. And you know what? For that big one, 3rd goblin, 4th goblin, 5th goblin, all for you, buddy. There you go. Thank you very much. You're too kind. Seriously, I appreciate it. I'm glad we got to several of yours today. Folks, I hope you enjoyed our opening lines today. If there's anything you'd like to see or any changes to the format, etc., do let me know. We're always trying to make things better around here. But we got through some good books today. That was a fun one. Great suggestions. Isabel, had you not seen the goblins yet? There you go. Yeah, we got goblins now. There's a rule: you give a gift, you get a gift. So that's how the goblins get handed out. Perfect one to end on there with the novice. Also, I got honorable mention to John Dies at the End, y'all. I'm keeping this one open because I might have to order this one. Big fan of it. Not just the cover, but the book itself. Rafi, you posted a question in writing share. Let me take a look real quick. Maybe we can answer it on stream. I don't see it, Rafi. Oh, writing craft. Okay. Different channel. Why don't I see that channel? There it is. Got it. Excellent. All right, Rafi, your question was, what's the best move when you have multiple ways to tell the same story? Do you choose one and hope? Yeah, so you choose. I think what you should do, because there's like many ways. Sloyd, the last book was The Novice by Taryn Matharu. Really enjoyed it. Rafi, when you have multiple directions you can take a book, one of the best way, I think, because you could go infinite directions, right? I think you should take the direction that's most exciting to you. Think about them, all the routes you could take. Whatever one you're most resonating with, you're most excited to write, do that one. That would be my suggestion. If it's not working, you can come back and try again. But I try to follow the goal of everything I write in the book, I want to be excited about. I'm trying to write where I have no chapters where I'm like, kind of iffy. I want to be pumped about all of them. It's hard to do, but I think it could work. I think it could make a really good book. Born to Celeborn, good to see you. Welcome back. I am having a great day. I hope you are too. Happy Wednesday to you. We're just wrapping up here, but I'm happy to hang out and chat for a minute with everybody. We just did our opening line stream, favorite opening lines, always fun. Thank you for the suggestions, everybody. And Sloyd, good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. Dracula, good to see you as well. Y'all, we're going to be doing on Friday. We're going to be doing our Fantasy Map Friday, so make sure you're back for that. We're getting darn close to finishing this map up here. It's going to be a good one, y'all. I'm super pumped for it. Come on back for that one. And, of course, on Monday, we'll be back as well. Verk, I have read Cradle, but it's been 2 streams at least since we've done it. So Cradle is off cooldown, so it can be suggested. We are wrapping up here today. But suggest it on the next one, and we will see if the dice pick it. We roll to get titles off our list. Dracula, you said you always miss my lives. When do I go live? Dracula, it is always 7 a.m. Central Time on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Or if you're in the Discord, which I'll drop the link for that right now. I do a notification when I'm going live, so you'll get pinged. So you know. Isabel, the goblins happened. I bought them from a local vendor at a book fair. I saw them and they're just too cute. I had to get them. I intended to give them away to fans actually, but they're too cute. I can't do it. They live here now, so we give them out on stream instead. Aaron, good to see you. Welcome in. Alicia saying hi. Melissa, a new noble steed has entered the chat, huh? Adorable. Oh my goodness. All right, we got to show these pictures, y'all. Hold please. Y'all, one of the wonderful channels in our Discord is the Noble Steeds channel. Here is Melissa's new cat via the Cat Distribution Network. Does the new cat have a name, Melissa? Aside from adorable. Look at that big kitten energy there. I love it. At work too. Found you at work. Interesting. Adorable. Thank you for taking her in or him in. I don't know. But thank you. Working with the CDN Cat Distribution Network. Alize. Interesting name. I feel like that's going to get nicknamed, right? You're going to call her Allie or something? Rock on, Melissa. Thank you for taking care of that. It breaks my heart to see strays. I love when we can adopt them and get them into a good home. By the way, Minister of Yeats, buddy, with the 90 roses, thank you very much. Just a big ol' handful of goblins for you, dude. That's as many as we can give. I need more than 3 at once, so we can just give them all to you. Thank you. You're too kind. You're too generous. Nina Castle said, great live. Do you use a certain program to share your computer screen? Nina, I am on Discord for this. Or Discord, sorry. I am on OBS. So I use TikTok Studio. I push OBS through virtual camera to TikTok Studio, so I can do things like switch around the format, or show you my books, or show you my newest book that's on Amazon, and everybody should pick it up. Maybe, I don't know. It works really well, and OBS is totally free. So yeah, it's pretty sick. Alex is part of the GDN, the Goblin Distribution Network. Absolutely, I am. Hey, you're very welcome, Nina. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, what do you write? I always got to ask when there's author in the title. What books you working on? So yeah, folks. Hope you had fun today. I certainly did. Oh, I see more pet pics popping in real quick? Hold on. If we got a fresh one joining the Discord, God, that's art, y'all. Aside from adorable, that's just straight up art. That looks like a painting, right? The color palette, incredible. I love it. Minister, that's your dog? Amazing. What's the name? What's the name? Adorable. Pepper. Hello, Pepper. Adorable, Minister. Thank you for sharing. Y'all, see, this is why we have a Pet Pics channel in Discord. Just for the good stuff, you know? Let me drop that real quick. Jake, you missed the stream. Hey, no worries. Good to see you, Jake. Y'all, if you missed the stream, as always, no worries. It is recorded on YouTube. In the links in my bio, you can find my YouTube channel. All of my streams are available there as video on demand. You can watch them back and see all the fun. So even if you're late, you're never late. Oh, Minister, I think we read like 3 of yours today, right? Or at least 2. The dice were favoring you today. That was some pretty good luck there. I like it. Poison, you said one more die roll for the road. And if it's a 4, I got to stream for another hour. Oh boy, I'm not gonna agree to that. But I will give us a big old die roll for the road. Let's load them up here, y'all. With the power of mighty-dice.com, we're gonna go nuts. How's that? That enough dice? Boy, this is gonna sound insane. Oh, really, Minister? We got 3 of yours on the list. I know Warriors was one. No Longer Human. You're right. Okay. Wow. Oof. Well, hopefully we get one of yours next time, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry they didn't make it in. That's the dice sometimes are cruel. Ask Rafi about it. Rafi waited like 5 weeks to get a 6 on our Dice Decide stream. Melissa, I don't know how many dice you can do in here, but it's getting laggy with this many, so brace your ears, y'all. It's going to be an insane roll. But hey, a dice roll for the road. Total of 534. Boy, that'd be a lot of damage if this were D&D. I love that there's so many dice in this that they have to like pop off the top of each other when they cover the ground too much. You'll see a couple of them popping like popcorn out there. That's how many hours I have to stream now. Oh lord, yeah, there's probably a 4 in there. Yeah, there's one. Incredible. Y'all, hey, thank you for being here with me today. I seriously appreciate you. I'm so excited to get back to our regular streaming format. I took last Friday and Monday off because I was at San Diego Comic-Con. It was a great time. It was so busy, but great. It was too much of everything in all the best and worst ways, but what a joy. Thank you for welcoming me back, everybody. I'm glad to be back here with you. Hey, you know the drill. A special thanks to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Cottages, Northern Glade, Farm, and Manor, which have provided our background music today. As well, a special thank you to community member Rafi the Engineer, who provided our newest background song, Midnight at the Round Table. Rafi, thank you for that, my dude. I appreciate you. Of course, a shout out to my excellent moderators, Melissa Lee 28, again, Rafi the Engineer, One Happy Harpy, Simp1X, other name wasn't available, aka Slendy, Leisha T, and Aaron Winnick. I could not do it without y'all. Thank you for keeping the vibes rolling. I appreciate you. Lastly, if you enjoyed this stream, enjoyed this live, y'all, give me a follow for the next one. I want to see you there. We will be making a map on Friday. For Fantasy Map Friday. Get ready for it. I'm pumped. We had a week off from this format, so we got to get back to it. It's going to be good. I'm seeing requests for one more die roll for the road. We could do that. We'll do another one because I talked over the beginning of it. I didn't mean to start it right off the bat. But y'all, thank you for being here. Let's get one big die roll for the road. Here we go. Get the volume cranked all the way up. It takes so long because they're trying to get the dice off the top. Love it. Lower than our last couple rolls. Well, there we go. There's a big roll for the road. Y'all, thank you for being here with me. Let me give a shout out to everybody that's still hanging out. Minister of Yeats, thanks for being here, buddy. I appreciate all the donations, all the suggestions. We're going to get to your books. We just got to bribe the dice. Melissa Lee, good to have you. Thank you for being here. Poison, good to have you back. Congrats on finishing those finals. Rafi, what's up, my dude? Thank you for being here. Alicia T. Sloyd, other name wasn't available. Always a pleasure to see y'all. Nina Castle, author, thank you for stopping by. JOJ, PBJ Bullies, Eris and Jared Parasamo. Thank you very much for being here, folks. Gravy Puddles, that's a fun one. T Money 92, Aaron Stoner Stories with a sip. Leo 4774. Thank you for being here, y'all. It's been a pleasure to have you. As well, Isabel Knight on YouTube. Always a pleasure to have you there. Jake Hartman, sorry we got you late today, buddy, but the replay's on YouTube. Let's see, who else on YouTube? Captain Caveman and Shrimpo and Tyler Thomas and Mike Ferry Curtis. Folks, thank you for being here. Been an absolute pleasure. Oh, it's good to be back. I can't wait to catch you all on Friday. And, keep the party going. There's the Discord link. If you want to catch us there, we'd be glad to have you. Until next time, folks, have a wonderful Wednesday. We will see you on the next one. Be excellent to each other, y'all. Peace out.